Hello, you catch me longingly looking out into the sea. But we'll stop that because I've gotten some Pelagicite ore. So this time around, we had to fulfill a request. Last time I tried to do it before ending my session and I failed because the RNG was not with me and I could not get the Pelagicite ore. Now I have, so we can complete this ancient mask request. Lovely. Now this is going to trigger some dialogue because it's a prerequisite for continuing the game. Yo, the Wyverian artisan has been tinkering with the mask on the statue while you were off doing your thing. Just as I'd hoped, you should be able to breathe underwater indefinitely with it. There's just one problem. He tells me the mask is too small for you to wear, Hunter. It may look big, but it's all got all kinds of stuff inside. The thing will only fit one of them pipsqueaks. What's their name? Cha-Cha and the other one? If neither of those rascals do the dive, we're back to square one. Let's hope they're braver than they look. Kayamba, keep thinking about the mask and cave behind farm. The mask totally hit it now. Kayamba think it worthy to take a closer look. To reach briny deep of Dragon Cave, Hunter needs Shaka special equipment for holding breath. Cha-Cha no importance of air, have post-traumatic Shaka stress from previous brush with death. Cha-Cha cannot stop thinking of mask and cave behind farm. Cha-Cha think me, oh, walk right over there to see it. Oh god. No, actually, I see no reason not to invite you both back onto my quests now. I only didn't because I didn't want them to kill the sharks, so... Yeah, come along. Little friends. Oh, future alpha male. Really? In those pants? I mean, that is pretty alpha to walk around like that. That's... Alright. Hey, would you look at that? The last one of our felines has come home. Now the farm can get back to full capacity. The felines seem pleased. The hunting and trading has gone back to normal. Let's hope nothing spooks them. Just bring us the herb or seed you want to cultivate, and the felines will grow them while you're off questing. Now, go say hello to the feline that's just come back. Might as well shake the paw. That'll be all over your crops. Well, now that the farm's fully manned and back on its feet, guess I can finally take a load off mine. Okay, buddy. We can go back. Oh no, I went the wrong direction. Ugh. Well, at least the loading times aren't bad. All right. Ancient mask obtained. And what do you have to say, cat? Honestly, I'd rather gobble down meat than vegetables, but I'm just a big old clumsy paws. I can't catch fish for myself. That's why I work here on the farm. I've yet to let a veggie get away, yeah. I'll bet you didn't know we felines are sensitive to earthquakes. The claws of the pads of our feet? What? Okay, it's because we claws. Oh god. That's why I got spooked and ran away. Let's pretend it didn't happen, yeah? Anyway, I'm a good worker. Good enough anyway. I got the job done, okay? Is it break time yet? I could use a catnip. Catnap, not catnip. Well, what do you know? Just so happens itinerant cook asked me to start growing fatty tomatoes. We just had our first harvest. Imagine the fancy fists you'll whip up with them vegetables. What am I saying? You should drop by the canteen whenever you fancy a dish made with fatty tomatoes. Okay, do I have to talk to him every time to confirm stuff? I don't know. Cool, so that is now done. We have the ancient mask. I don't think they can both wear it, so we'll put it on Cha-Cha. Unless they can both wear it. No. I don't think it's possible to make a second one, at least not at this point. A mask. Maskety mask. Oh, hi. Say, what do you think a mask is in? Why do you think a mask is enshrined in the village? Here's a theory. Perhaps you've noticed by now, but this village stands atop some ancient ruins. If the folk back then had some kind of mask for breathing underwater, I bet they hung out at the bottom of the sea. I know I would. Must be nice, not having to worry about an oxygen gauge. Picture all the beautiful fish and coral. And in comes a rampaging monster. Grah, people scatter, shrieking with fear. Then brave hunters appear to face it. Sorry, I got a little off track. Oh, I heard from the guild. As expected, they put the excavation on hold. We're to await further instruction now. Thankfully, more quests have come in. Let's see, we've got the Rathlos, King of the Skies, oh, and a Barrioth. Each monster fiercer and scarier than the last. They must really like you. Either that or they really want to kill you. Don't worry, I get it a lot. Alright, back to the grind. So now we have the Wrath of Rathlos. And a Bard's Tale. It looks like we also have a Hunt of Diablos, the Warned Wyvern, the Warned Wyvern? That's what my brain was trying to say. Not that it makes any sense, but it is. Alright. Where are we at? Equipment wise. We ultimately have a neutral resistance to fire. Yeah, I mean, we don't have a good resistance to ice. And the thing is I don't think even if we made Rathlos armor, we would get it. Of what we have, what even is good against ice? Legia Nilsnarf definitely isn't. Legia Cross is not the Blade Master stuff. Ingot Gear is okay. Yeah, I'll put Blade Master only. Raytheon is alright. I'm pretty sure Rathlos is bad against it. So there's really not anything that's fantastic against ice. It's mostly things that are neutral. And this could just be the variation between elemental resistances, different per piece, but still. Okay, well, no harm in going Rathlos, seeing how it goes. Yeah, let's do that for now. Oh, wait. I guess you can do it a few different ways to get different benefits. I guess fire, probably. I don't know, man. Health and defense have been increased. How lovely for me. Okay. Let's go fight a Rathlos then. Why are we hunting this one? I seek a hunter of unmatched valor to defeat the King of the Skies, succeed, receive untold riches. Gathering halls across the land will echo with songs of your deed. Fail and you're on your own, buddy. Okay. I don't really want to be on my own, but I'm not inherently like in a situation like this. At least, you know, nobody else is gonna get hurt. If you're inherently gonna lose, it's better to not take casualties with you. But I think we're gonna be fine, probably. Okay, so this is our first Rathlos encounter. So chances are we're gonna run into a cutscene before we run into it. I kind of envision like 8 or 5, but let's poke around. We'll see what happens. I don't know, I might go to 6 to like rest. There isn't really a cave area in this volcano map. There's like nowhere that looks exceptionally comfy for anyone to go. And sure, you're saying it's a volcano, why would there be? But you know, everything likes to be comfy. Oh, here's our cutscene. Cool, so here's Rathalos. Flagship monster for many a year. And kind of like the Pikachu of Monster Hunter. Oh god, I'm so bad at paintballing. There we go. And by that I mean he's not an electric little mouse, but he finds a way into all the games one way or another. I think, you know, some people are really upset about that type of thing. I'm not. I think it's good to have staples. You know, even if you're changing out a good chunk of your menu, maybe, you know, get the snack you like still. And that's okay. There's no harm in that. I think that's what Rathalos is. Rathalos is like the comfort food hunt for anyone who's played Monster Hunter. For the most part. I mean, not everybody likes the hunt. But I've done it enough times where it's kind of comfort food like. And also, it's a really cool way to see the evolution of the technology behind video games. You know, even looking at the difference between this Rathalos and the very first one you fight in the PS2 game. The very first PS2 game anyways. Big changes. And we see more of this as we move towards World. The design of Rathalos does get modernized and sharpened a little bit, I guess you could say. And to a positive effect, like it just looks meaner as it goes on. Not uglier too, which I think is a commonly confused crossover. You know, if you want to make something look meaner, you just make it look uglier or less like beautiful. But sometimes there are better approaches, and they just kind of make Rathalos look more like a predator. It still looks beautiful, like it is a stunning thing to behold. And the increase in graphical fidelity only makes that more so, with like the ability to see scales and stuff. But inherently, yeah, it's definitely meaner and more intentionally designed, maybe. It has a little bit more like fat around the side of its face in first edition. And then there's some new spikes and stuff, and a little bit of expansion on the wings, but all for the best, I think. That's a design that's really just been refined to mastery over the years. Ah, darn. I thought I was going to do something else, so that's okay. I kind of have like an artificial sleepiness going on right now. I'm actually pretty awake. It's the middle of the day. But, there's a lot of weather change right now. I'm one of those people that's really sensitive to like pressure changes and what have you. So I don't know, maybe I didn't sleep well, or my brain's not happy. I'm just feeling tired. That's okay though. There's God, there's 1 or 2 episodes there at the end of third portable where I was recording that game while I was getting used to a new position I'd gotten with work. And it was kind of a lot of new things going on, and mentally I was really tired, but I was trying to keep up with my recording schedule at the time as well. And some of the episodes I was just so dead and so tired that I'm like falling asleep in the middle of hunting a dragon. And I still won those fights, but it was funny for me to like watch it back, because I'm like, how am I running into a wall and yet still finding a way to come out on top of this fight? That's hilarious. You know, moments where you're so out of it, you don't even realize you've just been like walking into the same space or going in a circle. You know, it's like that moment before you either decide to go to bed or don't, and then find out that you've fallen asleep on the couch a few hours later. Oh, darn. Well, I'm right by an area transition though, so there's really no harm in that damage. Ooh. Yeah, since last time I played, I've just accepted that I'm going to use my PS5 controller for the purposes of recording here. So long as I can. Not maybe, you know, I don't see an issue where it'll be a concern. But, you know, there's always the potential that you can't get a controller to work with the program. That being said, I just grabbed a new cord and it seems to be going pretty okay. You can turn PS5 controllers into a Bluetooth mode, and you can just use them wirelessly. You don't even have to plug them in. I prefer to do that because my modern experience with using too much Bluetooth has not actually been a positive one. I have Bluetooth headphones, and I've used mice and controllers and what have you, but all of my modern Windows blue screen issues have ultimately sourced from driver concerns related to Bluetooth. And this has been on 2 different computers now, actually. My personal computer, I had a Bluetooth dongle, and it blue screened the computer with driver issues. And then recently with my own work computer, same sort of thing. Constant Bluetooth issues, actually. And it was because a driver was in a bad state, and it needed some permissions fixed. It was just as much like a unique IT situation as it was the computer or the driver misbehaving. But I haven't had blue screen issue on one of my computers from like almost any activity in a really, really long time, and that's just a fantastic thing. So I kind of don't want to go back, and as a result, if I can plug something in, I just will. I would love to be one of those people that has a specialized desk that you can like plug everything into and effectively turn your desk into like a big USB hub, and you don't even need to bother with too many visible cords unless it's like something's charging, you're actively using something. But that's not right now. The day will come, maybe. And even then, I'm like, I'm such a paranoid person when it comes to power stuff. So I like the idea of one of those desks, but typically those, you route your power cables through them, which isn't, I haven't been hit by one of those fireballs in forever. That's hilarious. But you know, typically you put all your power cables through the thing, and that's fine. I just feel like it's kind of like putting a really big appliance on an extension cable at the end of the day, right? And with how GPUs and modern computers are becoming more and more power hungry, I guess I would just have to see the setup and read into it a little bit more to feel confident that you're not going to be pulling too much out of something that isn't built for it. But if it is, and those setups are built to handle the volume, I guess, of what they're going to be doing. Perfect. That seems like a great idea. And I'd love to tuck away even my power cables. Have hidden columns or panels or something. That's the dream. But still ultimately wired, because I don't know, unless like we break some, principles of physics, I don't know if wireless communication will ever be able to beat wire. Like it's one of those things where even if we, for example, find a way to send something faster than the speed of light, we can do that with sound, right? I think that's like Machs. That's what like Mach 1, Mach 2, Mach 3. That's like breaking the speed of sound or something. And how much, by what multiplier you're doing so. I don't think in the current era we can break the speed of light. Maybe we've been able to send particles through generators and do that, but we're not like sending a car faster than the speed of light that I'm aware of anyways. So when you have something like that, you also have other ramifications that you can't send data faster than the speed of light. And in the context of like from your computer to a phone, that's not really a concern. You don't need it to go faster than the speed of light. The speed of your finger is like a second, so light already faster. But if you're dealing with really big distances, maybe even like the distances between cosmological bodies or satellites in space, the speed of light is now actually not that fast. And as a result, you have handicaps. Say like you have colonies between planets or something like that. If you have data that only goes at the speed of light, then that is actually, quite a delay. You need something that goes even faster to carry itself through such a massive amount of distance. So would it be realistic to run a wire from Earth to Mars? Probably not. Could you, or if you did it, would it be super convenient to all the people living on Mars? Also, yeah, because you can send stuff that would go really, really fast through that. But if you're sending like a digital signal and it's going through as other forms of energy are as a wavelength, who knows? The speed of data through a wire is obscene because we're getting so much faster that it may very well be that we're able to circumvent what we think is possible transmission speeds with the current technology that's coming out. But there's also things that are like light-based technologies, and the combination of like AI and like a light tensor core CPU, I don't even know what the possibility of these things could be, where it's going to go, designing stuff that uses light speed or beyond light speed communication to develop technology that goes even faster. It's very much accelerating returns. We start going very fast, and then you start going even faster because you're going fast, and it's a lot of speed. Jeremy Clarkson would be quite pleased. All right, well, this Rathos hunt hasn't been too bad, honestly. I haven't really needed to comment on it other than a fireball or two, because it's just kind of par for the course. Looks like we're on the last legs of it here. We got the tail. We got both wings. I think I carved the tail. Did I right? I think I did. That was awful, but it's because my sharpness is horrible right now. Oh, this was a little bit of a cocky sharpen, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. That's okay. I'll sharpen over here. Yeah, okay, I literally have a Rathlos tail in my inventory, which makes me inclined to believe I did do the carve. I don't know why I didn't heal before coming back in here. It was a weird tactical choice on my part. And there we go. Rathlos addressed. Now, I'm gonna look at his armor, presuming we're gonna get a piece or two to see where the resistances lie. He might be okay against ice, in which case maybe it'll be okay. I forget. Where am I at right now? Yeah, I definitely shouldn't go against the Barioth with the Baroth set. Oof. Words. Bariath? Baroth? I don't know. Nice. Well, it wasn't, that was pretty fine. I like the Rathlos in this version. It's pretty fast. The downside for it is that I very recently been playing high rank third portable, and all of the high rank monsters in that game are just so much more brutal. So low rank stuff, none too bad. Doesn't mean we won't take all the spoils though. Very nice. All right, so armor craft. Did we? Okay, we can see. So the ice is actually, none too bad. Maybe I would do that. Well, okay, let's check as well. If I'm just doing that for Barioth, right? I know its dragon isn't good, its thunder isn't good. I think the big thing under the thing only does water, so maybe I could realistically use some Rathlos gear, which is nice because I really love the gear visually. We'll consider it. What do we have to do here? Yeah, okay, so I imagine the Barioth and the Rathlos are required, and the Diablos is like a potential offering. Okay. Well, okay, let's look really quickly. What would I need Rathlos wise? Did I get the... Yeah, so it's a lot of Dragonite. Do I need okay, so the Marrow tail I got. We will need at least one plate, which is pretty, and a Firestone, which is gettable, but yeah, okay. Feels like I might be going through and fighting a few Rathlos in the future, but let's go and try out Diablos, because I want to save the Barioth fight for I might go in between episodes, maybe go and get enough gear for Rathlos armor. But really, we've been doing pretty well with the monsters here in low rank, and I feel like maybe we can squeak out a Diablos win just for the sake of saying it's done. And it may well be a required key quest. I haven't actually looked this time. It's not that I particularly love Diablos hunts either. But like T-Rex before it, in the canon of this series anyways, I should probably just learn to love it. Last time on Third Portal, I went through a hard time with T-Rex, and then ultimately came out on the other side and have beat a lot of the monster now, and the brute T-Rex subspecies, because I needed the armor. And I needed something that was strong enough to push through where I was at in the game, and it was really a good set. So getting that was, yeah, required for success. I think we found our Diablos here. Nice, alright. Diablos. Definitely a big boy. A good threat. Big fan of charging. Very loud. He has a good chunk of health. And the tail is definitely worth taking care of as early as possible. Arguably, this is a great monster to hunt if you are a hammer user. Your superior bonk is used in lots of places to great effect. I wanted to get away from the thing there. Oh well. Oh wow. Diablos is gonna be on my butt. I love it. I used to, the very first time I ever fought Diablos, I did it super wrong. I got to this point in what would have been the first game. And I tried to fight it with my great sword, and I couldn't succeed. I couldn't figure it out. And so I tried to build a bowgun to fight it. But I didn't really invest much in the bowgun, so I had like gotten a first grade bowgun, maybe upgraded it a little bit, brought around some of the free ammo, and then just kept on shooting it and being like, why can't I win? I would go up onto like a ledge and try to get to the back of the ledge and still try and get hits in on the Diablos. And even then, I would still be like, it feels like I'm not doing anything. And I wouldn't be surprised if I dealt like 10 damage total, 10% damage if I was that lucky. But you know, you don't know what you don't know sometimes. So for me, it was just a matter of not realizing how to approach certain monsters, how to even start to win. And the bowgun with no upgrades and bad ammo was not the way. Perseverance was. I still, to this day, remember the first time I ever beat a Rathlos. And I was so overjoyed, I like had to put down what I was doing and just take in the moment. And it was late too. I remember like not even really being able to sleep the night that I first beat Rathlos, because I've been trying for a really long time. I was kind of in this place of like, oh, am I ever gonna be able to do it? Can I even get further in this game? You know, getting kind of stressed out about the process. And then after a horrible fight that now I would be embarrassed about, I pushed through and managed to eke out a barely meager victory, and I was psyched. And then for whatever reason, it was kind of like a flip had switched, or switch had been flipped, more accurately to say. Because after that point, I remember just getting better and better and better. It was like after I had seen what it took to be victorious, I was like, oh, okay, I just do that again. And I kept on doing that, and it was a really rewarding time. But Diablos and Ravlos and all of those big monsters, and arguably, you know, like big intimidating concepts in life, they're usually worse than we think they are, or they're not as bad as we think they are. We think they're worse than they are, and we bring in that sort of perspective, and it's really tough to beat yourself and the actual challenge. So reducing it to just one thing that you have to overcome, I found to be a pretty successful strategy. But also not being afraid to fail. Like, you know, prospectively, if you were a new player to Monster Hunter and you were like watching me do these hunts in only a few minutes, and you're like, why can't I do that? You have to remember there's thousands of failures in between being able to work your way through these fights relatively unaffected, and 3 carts every single time, death and misfortune. And it's just where you start and how much time you put into it, and it's not like anyone does anything amazingly from the get-go. Some people will try and trick you into thinking that, and I think like there's a great appeal in being seen as seamless and instantly starting off as the best version of yourself. But it's not real, and neither is any skill or gained ability, especially when it comes to video games. Like, there are folks who are really, really good at games naturally, have good reaction times, maybe even just smart tactics where they're well thought out in brief moments. And those are skills that'll help you be good at video games. But if you've also ever been like the best in your group of friends and then tried to play something at professional level, you also know the difference between somebody who is naturally really good at something and somebody who's naturally really good at something and competes with other people who also are. Where you need to take yourself is a lot different. So natural aptitude is one thing, and it's a great thing, but it's not everything. I definitely was one of those people that had to learn that lesson for a lot of topics. I was definitely frustrated by the requirement to actually practice stuff to get better at it. I just thought I would be able to intuit it all, and that if I didn't intuit it all, it was wrong. But that's a very selfish way of looking at things, and it's not very realistic either, because it kind of like denies the heritage of knowledge, I guess, the accomplishments of people who did push through that frustration. So I understand like they intend to do something better. I do that all the time, especially like I'm in a position where sometimes I'm like fixing or modifying choices that previous teams and groups of people have made, and it's not my purview to, you know, realign those choices and outcomes. When doing that, though, there's some point in what I was saying. I got distracted by the Diablos. Ah, well. Oh, I'm really glad I don't have to spend time in the desert. It's not something I've ever done. Never been in a desert. Been swamps, been jungles, mountains, been on oceans. Been on rivers, been on lakes, been in the tundra, been on ice fields, never been in a desert. It's just one of those like unknown biomes to my world. That and like ravines. Like I've been in valleys, and valleys are cool, but I've never been in like a place that looks like Mars, or I've never been in like a deep cave that's just like a slant in the land, you know? That's not an experience I've ever had. I've been in caves, but I haven't ever gone spelunking. Although, you know what? I have swam through a cave as well. So I've like walked and hiked through caves. And I have swam through caves. But I haven't like gone deep into tunnel systems, if you know what I mean. Or I could definitely not. I'm not one of those like deep sea divers or something. That's beyond me. I'd probably be too freaked out. Like, you know, every now and then you can see tests for what different military groups have to do, and there's one exercise that, as far as I'm aware, I believe is still required in Marine training camps, but it's where you have to swim and scurry yourself through a little tunnel, and it's like almost halfway or 3/4 of a way filled with water, and it's not big enough for you to like crawl on your hands and knees. You have to shoulder scurry your way through, so where you kind of like make your body a point, and similar to a snake or a worm, you shuffle your way forward. And the position you have to kind of take, because you're doing this in army gear with rifle, is you kind of have like the rifle pointed up by your head, not pointing at your head, but it's huddled up near you as you shuffle in shoulder first. And the little crevice that you have to go through, and it's quite a distance too. It's like, it's not like a kilometer or something gross, but it's way further than you would want to go. And everything I've read about this particular exercise is like you kind of have to turn off your brain and just focus on the steps and the movement you have to do. Otherwise, you're gonna get scared and panic and get stuck. But I couldn't imagine any other way of doing it than turning off your brain. Like, there's no way you can get into this tiny little dark hole, almost be drowning, barely have the ability to move your body, and intentionally be moving yourself further and further into this inescapable space, and just be like, oh man, I'm so comfy right now. Like, can I take a nap? Can I just hang out? Can I get one of these in my room? Like, that's not, nobody, I don't think anyone's doing that. And yeah. Wow, I didn't realize this thing was gonna go sleep. Oh. Who messed up my perfect charge hit? Okay, well, let's get right out of there. Okay, Diablos. We're in your cave where you're resting. Are you, well, you're obviously angry at me, but are you close to being deceased? Was this just a brief retirement before going back to the workforce because you realized that you're restless and don't know what to do with your life? No, it was a true retirement. Okay, perfect. I know it's such a random note, but nothing makes me sadder than people who, like, retire and choose to go back. Like, having to go back is a tragedy, don't get me wrong. That may even be worse potentially, but choosing to go back is a type of sadness that, like, I don't know. It's like if you take an animal out of a cage and it still paces as if it's in that cage. You know, it's like you've killed the spirit of this thing so much it doesn't know any other way to live than to be ensnared in this thing that was created by society, not by it. And that's what I think of when I see somebody who like refuses to retire. It's just like they're so broken as a human that this is all they know how to do anymore. And I don't know. I don't love that. What'd we get? Nice. All right. Well, the Diablos went pretty well, honestly. I can't lie, that was so quick. I thought it was gonna potentially even take longer, but nah, he's down. It makes me wonder though, could I just deal with the Barioth even though I have a -10 to ice? Maybe I'll give it a go. Let's see. Okay, all of this can go away. We'll sort that out. Okay, herb. We'll get the whetstones, why not? Okay. Yeah, why not? Let's just go and foolishly try and deal with something where we have a horrible resistances. Yeah, because I imagine the Barioth is what we have to fight. I mean, it really only hits you with ice if you mess up, so... Let's see if I mess up. Okay, great, great. Mine, yes. All right, immediately need to use hot drink. Cool. I think the Barioth cutscene's here. Yeah. So, yep, Barioth, here he is on his hunt. He's very much like a cat. He uses the same skeleton as T-Rex. So in this game, it's kind of like the first exposure you have to that movement type. We're gonna immediately, he's gonna like do that faint thing, or I don't know what that's called, like something. But we're gonna get a bunch of free hits in. Oh no. Oh well. Oh wow, this guy's just pausing all the time, giving us tons of hits on him. Darn. That was a good follow-up. Good combo on his part. Oh man, I'm just trying to use items too much right now. Alright, bro, I'm just gonna come right over here for a sec. Great. Use that. Give me a little bit more ration. Okay. Much better position now. Cool. Ooh. Nice. Yeah, if you can tell, I'm really trying to focus on this tail, kind of like I have been for the all three monsters fight on this video. I didn't get the Diablo's tail, and it's a little bit tough, just because the Diablos is such a tall monster that your hits sometimes go to the legs or the body instead of tracking correctly and hitting the tail. This guy isn't too bad because he's so low to the ground, you can generally aim things better, but he is faster, so there's that downside. Another thing is Barioth is pretty low health, actually. It's to offset the fact that he is so fast. But I think he may have some of the lowest health of any of the monsters in Monster Hunter. And maybe I'm wrong on that, but I believe it to be the case. Now, that being said, there are, of course, versions of the monster that are, like, really aggressive and really successful at being aggressive. But I think it's just, like, base version comparison. Oh, well. Nice free tail hit for us. Oh man, that didn't go far enough. Cool. Yeah, is the Nullberry what cancels that? Yeah, that's what I thought. Couldn't resist that headshot. I thought it was going to be a break, and we got lucky and it was. Yeah, this guy's just hanging out and talking a lot. He has a lot of opinions about the situation. Yeah, it was funny. He's like almost every other move, he's like just settling into a little bit of a stretch. Yeah, odd Barioth behavior. Okay, well, I'll just take this opportunity to keep on smacking on him, really. At the end of the day, my job is to win the fight, not argue about it. Ah, I thought that was a last-ditch attempt. It's okay. Yeah, no fast way to get to him. It's just easiest to run up here, I guess. Yeah. Alright, well, it's fine. This, too, seems like it's going pretty well, so 3 hunts in 1 video is awesome. Okay, let's try and cut this tail with a charged slash. Nice, we've got that to work, and now we can just hammer on, finish the battle here, and potentially get carves on everything. Risky carve, I recognize, but I need the sharpness. There we go. So now we'll just, we'll carve up this tail, and then we'll carve up the Barioth, and, well, I think it's all the required key quests that we had to take care of all done in one nice little bundle. Clearly I didn't need the Rathlos gear, but depending on what we see is going to come up next for us, I may still be interested in building it. As we finish up low rank, which we're moving towards doing, we're gonna have to go to high rank, and that will definitely require some better armor, even to like burst into. That being said, depending on how things go, Caduceus armor could be cool. Now, well, the Barioth armor has proven to be quite effective. It's funny to me that I haven't got it before. Or if I did, I built it like retrospectively and didn't use it. So retroactively, not retrospectively. All right. A lot of armor spheres coming back with me. That's awesome. Got a bishop talisman. And all good. Okay, so I think the final little bit of dialogue here. Hello, I've got news. It's about our mysterious dragon. The guild finally got back to me about it, and this one's marked urgent. They matched what your little buddy saw to a report of an elder dragon from one of the guild's observation balloons. According to their analysis, this new elder dragon is way too much for a single hunter to handle. The guild has set emergency protocols in motion, and they've also given the monster a name. Cadius. Or Cadius? Cadus? I don't know. Cadius. The Cadius. And that's not all. I was also sent a special communique just from Oak Village. Let me read it for you. All civilians are to cooperate with the guild liaison and evacuate the island immediately. We hereby disclaim Oak Village and all surrounding hunting grounds. With all guild hunters are to assist with the evacuation and then return at once. In other words, the situation is so dire that they basically wrote off the village as unsavable. Well, it's just some huts, right? Everyone's safety is more important. We have to trust in the guild's judgment. But do we? This is our home. How can they expect us to all just sail away and watch it sink to the bottom of the ocean? There has to be something we can do. No, I won't cry. You and I are a team, right? Defenders of the Moga universe. Mogis never die. Oh god. I'll talk to the chief and... What? You want to talk to him yourself? Alright, I'll leave you to it. Then find the chief and let him know what's going on, alright? Yeah, I don't know where the chief is. So you're going to take on the dragon. Kind of figured you would. Of course, you'll never win by fighting fair. I understand why the guild wants to talk you out of this. But listen, we may have more weapons available to us than you realize. Apparently, the creature's cave is actually part of the ruins under our village. The fishermen dived down to have a look, you see, and they found something mighty fascinating and convenient. They say they found tons of ancient anti-monster weapons down there, all more or less intact. Interesting, eh? They're antiques, so who knows if they still work, and even if they do, good luck figuring them out. Maybe they're a waste of time, but my gut tells me they're worth a shot. We found the perfect spot to build a camp beside the cave entrance. I'm thinking we make it your base camp for hunting the dragon, but we'll need supplies we can't get ourselves. I feel bad for asking, but we need you to go gather materials one more time. We'll do all the building, of course. I've made a list of what we need. Check the village requests. All right. I think I just want to go find the villager or the elder. Is he over here or is he somewhere easy to find? Or do I have to go out to camp to find him? Oh no, he's right here. Perfect. Something troubling you, kid. I can see it in your eyes. The evacuation order, right? Yep, that sweetheart from the guild told me too. To be honest, kid, you must have put two and two together by now, but I used to be a hunter like you back in the day. I was an ace at underwater hunts. Enjoyed a bit of renown for it, in fact. Oh, the monsters I mangled. But I had bigger dreams. You like stories, kid? This one's been passed down through my family for generations. It goes like this. My ancestors once built a village here on top of ruins they guarded for centuries. Why guard the ruins? Well, no one's sure anymore, but we think they might have been our ancestral home. What we do know is that at some point, a string of mysterious earthquakes caused the Guardian's village to sink. From that time forward, my family dreamed of coming back here to rebuild what we lost. Not just my family either. Many of the villagers here come from an ancestry that shared the same dream. The head farmer and the Wyverian artisan are two such villagers, and there are many others. When I was a young hunter, I had the chance to return here with an archaeological team from the guild. In our investigation, we discovered the quakes were the work of an unidentified giant monster. But was the threat gone? The guild needed someone to stick around and keep an eye on the place, and of course, I couldn't have been happier. See how this all fits together? It was my dream to build Moga Village. No, more than that, my ancestors' dream. Now you know why I have influence in the guild. Why I can rub noses with a rich merchant like the Argosy captain. And more importantly, why I was so convinced those quakes had to be the work of a monster. At first, I thought the guild had overestimated its size, but how could anything be as big as they said? That's why I had to go after the Legiacrus. Well, plainly I was wrong. I didn't plan to tell you all this, but you fought for us every step of the way. You've earned the truth. So here we are. I guess it's fate. Our ancestors succumbed to this dragon once. Now it's our turn, I suppose. I'd better get the villagers ready to evacuate. Oh, they'll put up a stink, but I'll talk them into it. As for you, kid, you did good. But, well, it's time to hang on up your hat. The baddie's out of your league. It's been fun. I'll miss ribbing with ya. Sheesh, I feel like I'm at a funeral. What's the matter, kid? We'll be ready to evacuate soon. Just sit tight and... What? What did you just say? You're going to hunt the dragon? Are you nuts? One too many punches from the Gearcrus? Even the guild, which normally has hunters fight in small groups, would set aside an army to take the beast down. Strong as you are, there's no way you could possibly hope to take on a monstrosity like that alone, so just... What? You say you're not alone? You've never hunted alone, not once since you've come here? Well, we've actually done a lot of that, but... Oh, that's rich, kid. Sappier than a saplant. But I forgave you, because you know what? It's true. You aren't alone. Our boats will get you to the Dragon's Cave. Our base camp will keep you safe. We'll bring you supplies. Whenever you set out, weapon in hand, you've always got a team of friends here to back you up. Yep, if there's one thing the people of Moga have, it's the ability to face any hardship with pride and hope. Like I once told you, there are no lost causes, only lost confidence. Well, I found mine again. I guess even us old friends still have a few things to learn. Thanks, kid. I'll talk to the other villagers and see if we can't whip up a good hunting strategy for you. Of course, the evacuation will proceed for any folks not involved in the hunt. Time to get busy, busy, busy. So, this kind of sets the slate for where we have to go with the next bit of the game. We have to complete that requisition to build the hunting grounds and prepare them. And that is ultimately going to let us go ahead and deal with this dragon, Caduceus or Cadius or whatever, that's messing up the village. So we'll progress on that next time around. Thanks for watching Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Bye.